This is me, closing out the IBMA convention in a packed theater surrounded by some of the best musicians I know.
Kick us off into it.
Honestly, I never thought I'd get to this point, and we'll circle back to this special moment later, but experiences like this remind me just how far your music journey can take you. The challenge, though, is that as a learning musician, you just don't know what you don't know, and often the things you wish you knew only become clear years down the road. So, while I was here at the very first IBMA in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I asked some of the world's top mandolin players one question. What's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner? Stick around because their answers might surprise you and just maybe change the way that you see your own playing. What's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
To listen to the rest of the band that I'm playing with. I think listening and adapting to the other musicians is what makes a mandolin player good and tasteful, and it makes your timing so much better if you can lock in with everybody else. And always keep picking.
Okay. All right, Dave, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Well, as a beginner, don't forget to breathe. It's very important. Stay relaxed and breathe, because if you tense up, then your whole physiology changes. And if you keep everything nice and limber and smooth, your finger work works better. Your right hand works with the left fingers, and it all works better. So relax and breathe.
Amazing. High five. Amazing.
Without a strap.
Oh gosh. Don't be afraid to get out and play with other people. I mean, you can study it all on your own, and you have to, because that's how you learn, but you have no context, or this is from my experience, you have no real context of what the music sounds like outside of yourself until you pick with other people, especially people who are better than you, as long as they're nice. Because then that shows you, where you can go from there, and it pushes you to do that. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
Sam's Upright Robusta Bean, maximum caffeine. It's a little strong, but it's good stuff. I had some this morning, so take some with you.
Jury, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
I think I'm still guilty of this a little bit, but I think play lighter. You can always play a little bit lighter.
Seth, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Take your time, learn it slow, learn it right, and build the speed up, and that'll help you get there and get the speed to where you need it, and you'll be a lot happier when you get there, because I learned the hard way and got to that place. So if you take your time, get there, learn it slow, and build up the speed.
Awesome. High five, man.
Awesome.
One thing I wish I knew as a beginner, the late, great John Hartford told me one time that music isn't how many notes you can put into a song or into a space, but the space is the music. And that blew my mind when I was pretty young, so I thought that was cool.
Thank you so much.
All right, man.
You guys got to check out Tone Slab's picks. They're incredible.
Oh, yeah, man. Toe slabs, baby.
1, 2, 3, say Tone!
Please make welcome this year's International Brand Grant recipient, the often heard from the UK.
Evan, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Ooh, you know what? I think probably like how important good time is. I mean, obviously to have a good time is very important, but also just playing solid time. Like you can not do much flashy, but if you play with good time and good tone as well, then that like you got yourself a really nice mandolin sound. That's it.
High five. Ray, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Not to play so hard. I was always at the festivals playing the mandolin as hard as I could, just to, get louder than the banjos. And I wish I would have just started playing softer, so the slides and the hammer-ons and all the picking notes blended together in volume dynamically. So that's one thing I would try to do: get the dynamic range vast if you can. Play soft, play loud, and start in the middle somewhere.
Mandolin is the coolest instrument on the planet.
High five. Jesse Cobb, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Slow down. Slow things down. Don't try to play everything at the tempo it's recorded at. Slow it down, because that'll make you realize where your mistakes are, where your weaknesses are, and help you clean it up and get it in time and in tune. And yeah, it's the biggest thing. We all get in a rush to like, oh, I want to learn that thing that's so fast, and we just try to learn it, and we don't slow it down and figure out exactly what we're doing. So slow down, slow things down.
High five.
It's okay to simplify a tune, and I wish I knew that it was okay to play simply rather than try to play a complicated version out of a book or a magazine. Namaste.
Wait, give me 10 seconds to think what I was going to say. My brain quit working. Okay. One thing that I wish I would have understood sooner is just to learn what you want to learn and what you find interesting and exciting and fun, rather than play what you think you need to be playing, what is cool but maybe you don't like it, but it's cool so you think you need to be working on it. Just learn what you want to learn. If you go into it with pure intentions, you're going to get better and everything's going to fall into place, and you're going to be able to do what you want to do and achieve your goals. High five. That was awesome.
One thing that I would wish that I knew was like how to practice in a way that improves your speed, but also keeps your muscles relaxed and stuff. Because I think we maybe as musicians don't realize how much we're locked into a certain position for a certain amount of time, and so it's pretty related to playing, but it's more like how do you play in a way that that you stay relaxed. So I think for me it's that.
High five.
Yeah.
They said you've been through all alone. I thought things that might have been, and found my head right again.
I wish I knew
that if something was worth learning, it was worth learning right. Like I always was leaned more to hey, I'll just have fun, and I know 85% of the Salt Creek melody, so I'll improvise, which is cool, and I think people should go there. But it's just spend the extra bit of time and know 100% of the Salt Creek melody, And then when you go perform or jam or whatever, you can just forget that and do whatever you want, But I wish I would have realized the importance and the worth of knowing whatever I was trying to learn all the way.
Lucy, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Probably spending more time on right hand technique. I wish I would have spent a lot of time on that and not had to go back later on.
All right, here we go. All right, Leah, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Probably how to read tab.
Scott, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Not to play so hard. I think it's a good thing to get a start on a cheap instrument with a goal to improve your tone. But beating your playing into that doesn't work. And I'm still guilty of that sometimes. But listening to people like Dempsey Young and Adam Steffi, that really big tone, which you think hit it harder, play it harder, will get more out, but it just doesn't work. So there's a sweet spot there. So be loose.
I'm not sure about one thing necessarily, but I know for me, coming from guitar, it was about how to sound like a mandolin player. I had to figure out how to not just have the music theory figured out, but how to have some vocabulary on the instrument. So for anybody that's trying to get into it, especially from another place, vocabulary is the thing. And one thing that worked for me was learning licks and vocabulary from my favorite guys. My first was Steffi. I tried to play like Steffi for a year at least, and then Sam after that. And after doing that, I could kind of find my own style on mandolin because I had more background to go on than just music theory,
High five.
Right on.
All right, Jeremy, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
I wish I would have remembered how much more important it is to practice. I didn't really take it serious at first, but the more you practice, the better you get quicker.
One thing I wish I knew as a beginner, there's more speeds than as slow as you can and as fast as you can play. Because I practiced playing as fast as I could when I was young. And I got to this point where I could play really fast, or I could play really slow. But playing tempos in between as fast as I could and as slow as I could suffered for years. Practice as many different tempos as you can, and knowing what it feels like to play at 100 beats per minute as opposed to 120, as opposed to 140, as opposed to 160 or 80,
Right. Jason, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
Honestly, and it's the same thing that I wish that I was better at now, and that's timing. Just like finding the rhythmic pocket. Every genre of music has its sound and its rhythmic drive, and bluegrass definitely has its rhythmic drive. So, as a beginner, the notes don't matter anywhere near as much as what that pocket is. So that's what I have to say.
Look at those awesome sunglasses too.
Yeah, they're peaches. Yeah, man. Actually, the one thing to know as a beginner is you got to have glasses like this.
The high part. I don't know that part.
We used to do it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's beautiful.
Together or separate? What do you prefer?
Either way, honestly.
Let's do it together.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
We like each other.
The one thing I wish I knew when I was a beginner is that you don't really have to know everything about improvising to start with. You learn by trial and error, and you figure that out. But like, it's one thing I wish I just knew right off the bat. Like, just get in there and try things and make it work.
Totally. And regardless of the instrument you're playing, you don't have to only learn from those players. I think it's important, like if you're a mandolin player, you're a banjo player, whatever it might be, to study the greats on that instrument, but like also recognizing you can sit down with the mandolin and learn a great Stuart Duncan solo or a Jerry Douglas solo. And I think if you keep your ears open, there's so much to be learned from all the instruments and really any kind of music, not just bluegrass, things that you can take from what you're listening to and put it on your instrument. So
High five, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Got a jam over here as well. Wyatt, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
I wish I knew that, I could learn by ear earlier on, because once I started doing that, my whole musical world opened up, and yeah, here we are today.
Well, somebody robbed the land down tree this morning at 9:30. Somebody robbed the land down tree this morning.
All right, AJ, what's one thing you wish you knew as a beginner?
When in doubt, double stop tremolo the whole way.
Let's do it, yeah. Spending time with these incredible mandolin players has been such a reminder that we're all still learning, no matter where we are on the journey. And I'm so grateful to each of them for sharing their wisdom, and to the IBMA for creating this unforgettable first year here in Chattanooga. You guys gotta come to this event next year. It is so fun. In particular, this late night jam with the Mountain Grass Unit was one of those moments that makes all the hard work worth it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more mandolin stories, hit like if it inspired you, and drop a comment with the piece of advice that spoke to you most. And if you'd like to see more videos from my past times at IBMA, then check out these videos here on screen for some amazing insight into bluegrass mandolin repertoire. They're some of my favorite videos from the channel, and I think you'll really enjoy them. I hope to see you over there, and thank you so much for watching.